Hey, what's up, guys? So, kind of want to start doing some videos on a smart drive generator wind turbine because all the videos that I've seen on YouTube so far haven't been what I've been looking for. So, I want to go a little more in depth on what I'm doing with mine versus what other people have done with theirs because I haven't seen very many, like what kind of outputs they're getting when it's really windy outside and how exactly they make it and everything like that. So, I'm going to go ahead and show you. I have an old stator that I haven't touched, and then I have the one that I went ahead and rewired it, and it's working. So I'm going to show you that before I go ahead and glue it and seal it and get it ready for the environments. So give me one sec, guys. Just kidding. Before I go ahead and start showing you guys this project, I just realized this is going to be my first video for this channel, so I just want to go a little kind of background and what to expect and everything. I just got back from deployment for 6 months, so videos aren't going to come out super regularly. I came back early from deployment because I had a baby, so I'm gonna try to do as much project updates as I can, but it's probably going to be a little bit slow, so I apologize for that in advance. But this is the sort of thing that I love to do, so I would like to start doing projects like this a little bit more often, as much as I can. Obviously, I still got to go through. I gotta clean my garage. It's pretty dirty. Yeah, I guess I can kind of show it's pretty cluttered. So I'm gonna have to go through and try to clean it up a little bit before I get really started on these projects. But also on the same time of doing these projects, I'm also gonna be working on my truck, which I'll probably upload videos of that as well onto this channel. I had another channel before for like video games and everything like that, which I hope to get into a little bit more. Maybe next time I'm on deployment, I just got a good gaming laptop. I can go ahead and try to do some videos off that. But aside from that, I want to do all these projects and everything. So just want to kind of give a heads up if anyone's actually watching this video that videos won't come out super regularly. But there's a lot of stuff that I do want to do. I know I'm not looking exactly at the camera, but it's easier for me to look at myself in the screen because, I don't really make videos very often. Now, I'll go ahead and get back to the smart drive generator rewiring and everything like that. Alright, there we go. So, I'm recording all this off my phone. I apologize if the finger kind of comes into play every once in a while. I'm not used to recording like this, but this plus my shadow is like right here. It's pretty annoying. I need to get better lights for my shop. I'm gonna call it a shop, even though it's kind of a garage, but it's detached, so I'm gonna call it a shop because it's cooler. So this is the old stator, an old stator that I had before, and I couldn't really use it because it's cracked now. I tried to make my own bearing mount for the rotor and everything. I actually got the old rotor down here. I tried to do a kind of a bearing thing. Didn't really work out very well, so yeah, that sucks. But I got the new stator here. I'll go over this in a minute. But my wife and I just upgraded washing machine and dryer, so I got to tear apart the old one, the old washing machine. That was awesome, and I was extremely happy that this I think it's Fisher Paykel motor was inside it. So luckily, the washer worked fine. It was kind of a, hey, wife, can I tear it apart and take all the parts out? And she agreed, so I got lucky with this one. And then I got the, this came off like the drum, but it's the bearings in the shaft, and that's really what I wanted because it's perfectly aligned. I can put the stator back on, put the rotor on, and everything. And it's good to go. I've been working on cleaning the bearings out a little bit. I was using WD-40, so I'm gonna do that a few more times, and then once this thing's up in the air and spinning, then it should be good to go. I'll go over real quickly. I got this old ceiling fan wind turbine here, using some think it's Missouri Wind Raptor blades, which the blades themselves, I like them. They're pretty cool. I don't think 3 blades is going to quite cut it for this wind turbine, so I'm probably going to buy maybe 3 more, do a 6 blade, and we'll see how it goes from there. But so this is the old stator here. It might be a little bit hard to see with the lighting and everything, but initially it's a 3-phase motor. I mean, you can generate power off this right off the bat, but it's going to be quite a few volts because you got the 3. Try to do my best to show, but the 3 phases here, and then they just go all the way around, and they end here. So this whole thing is just one large I don't know the wording, but it's a 3-phase, the whole thing. So I'll try to get kind of close, but you can see the wires, they go all the way around. I really need some better lighting. I know that's horrible, I apologize, but it goes all the way around back to the terminals here. Now we'll move on to the stator here, which I spent a few days working on. It was kind of a pain in the A word to complete because since I've been gone for so long, my garage it's a disaster area. Right now I'm working on selling a bunch of crap, getting rid of crap, and starting to clean it up a little bit. But let's see. All right, so I'm gonna bend these down just for video sake. So these 3 terminals here. Well, actually, let's start with the ending. The ending, it's the 3 ends coming together, the 3 phases ending here, and they're contacted together. And over here, it's got the same thing right here, which I didn't touch. And then those 3 terminals are here as well. I didn't touch those. So all I did, let's see if I can remember. I think it's I can't remember the wording exactly, but it's a 6x2. I'll put a picture of the diagram up right now, actually. So hopefully you saw it. If not, then you can go back, pause it, and look at it. But it's also very easy to find if you just Google rewiring smart drive motor for 12 volts. It'll be the very first one. It's a pretty good write-up of the generator itself. But so the 3 terminals here, I used 3 different colors. So it's 3-phase, and I got the blue, the yellow, and the orange. And I put the yellow, and then the blue, and then the orange. So that's a phase. So this coil right here is the yellow phase, and then I'll try to get close. I know the lighting's bad, but it comes up and goes to here, and it's another coil. So there's 2 coils per phase, in a sense, I guess, and then they're kind of wired in parallel for extra amperage. So it starts, wraps around. I don't know how many turns are on these, but and then it comes by, it wraps around again, and then it comes up and ends. And then same for the blue wire. It comes up to here, yeah, wraps around, and then it's connected here, which I actually kind of did a piss poor solder job. I didn't get rid of the enamel enough on the wires, so the soldering was kind of a pain, but I did test it. It works, so I'm happy with that for now. But so yellow phase, actually all 3 phases. So there's 3 here, 3 separate phases, and then they go into the same, and then they end. And then on the other stator, it just continued along, but it ended, and then the yellow phase starts again, and then I connected it by wire from this phase, connect to this phase, connect to this phase, and so on all the way around. So it took basically whatever output this has, and then it divided by 6, and then you have the 6 different phase groups. I kind of get kind of close, but you can see like yellow attaches, The yellow attaches. The yellow attaches. So there's 6 different phase groups, and when I finish this, I still got to go through. I got to seal all the solder points and everything, so they're good for the weather. But if you look over here, I installed it onto here, and then I put the rotor on. The rotor's being painted right now, but I spun it by hand, and I think it was about 120 RPM. It was rough guesstimate. I started spinning it, 1 and then 2 and then 1. So spinning it 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on. So it was about 120 RPM, and I was hitting about 14 volts. But that was just off testing like the yellow and the orange together, because it's 3-phase. So I was running voltage on the yellow and the orange together, and then the yellow and the blue together, and it was mostly a test of just making sure that everything's connected properly and that it's got good continuity all the way around. That was my main focus with it. So it works. That's good. So now I'm going to go through. I'm going to put I don't have too many resources available right now, just because since I just got back and everything, but I did find some Gorilla Glue, super strength, wood, stone, metal, blah blah blah, etc. And I did use a little bit of that when I started cutting all the wires to start rewiring and everything. I did put, I don't know if you can see it, you can actually, but on the ones where the coil would have started like unwinding, coming off and everything, I went through and glued all these points first, and then I cut the wires. That way they wouldn't try to unwind on themselves, and it worked out pretty well. The glue is pretty strong, so that's pretty good. But so that'll pretty much be it for the first video on this. I'm definitely going to do a little bit more. Looking back at this other wind turbine that I had made before, the like the ceiling fan motor, it worked out pretty good. I'm sure you guys have seen it before. You take a ceiling fan motor, and then you got the old, I don't know if it's a, whatever it's called, the rotor. This is actually it up here, but I took it out, and then I went through and I went through and put magnets all along on the inside of the casing, and then put it all back together. I glued them in and everything, of course. Put it all together, and then I made a pretty cheap materials already in the garage sort of body, I guess. I think it's some square tubing. I want to say it's 1.5 inch. It's pretty rusty now, yeah, because it's been out in the weather. But even just from looking at the end of it, you can see, like, I'm just pushing with my finger, but it's got some serious cogging to it, and then it did spin really fast whenever the wind was really high and everything. But from what I can tell, just off like having this guy together and then spinning it by hand, it spins a little bit easier than the ceiling fan wind turbine, because it doesn't have as much cogging. But I definitely noticed the very first test that I did. So if you're going to do this sort of setup and everything, if you want to test, kind of just like initial test, if you don't have the resources required, then you can go ahead and short these 3 wires out, and then go ahead and try and give it a spin, and it'll have a lot more resistance than I had expected it to have. Even just slightly turning it was very hard to turn. So that's a good sign. That way, whenever I get this guy up and running, I'm out in Washington, and we can get some pretty high winds. Can't really see too well out there, but you know, Washington's real green, but it's a nice state. You can get some good wind out here. So there might be some times where I'm gonna want to short this guy out to get the blades to slow down a little bit. And I don't have any doubts that it's gonna work, because this guy was really hard to turn when these wires were shorted out. So that's a good sign. And then I'm gonna have to go ahead and it'll probably be a little while. I'm gonna have to get some sort of three-phase rectifier so that I can get some stuff charging up. But I definitely want to add this into my solar, which I'll give a little sneak preview. I got some solar panels. They're outside right now, just chilling. But I definitely want to start working on those guys as well. And I got a pretty cheap charge controller over here for the solar. 11.1 volts. These batteries. Another preview, I guess, because I'll go into depth with these a little bit more. But it's for the golf cart Trojan batteries. I think they're like 200 amp hours a piece. But at work, so I'm in the Navy. I got these guys for free because you got these little scrub machines, you know, you scrub the floor with, brr, brr, brr. And it was dead, and they ordered some new batteries for it. So I was like, yo, let me get these batteries. Don't give them to the scrapyard. Thinking, you know, maybe they're dead, but not actually dead. But oh, they were dead. So I got them back home, and I'll tell you what, they're heavy as fuck. Sorry for the language, but you know, these things are heavy. And so I got them home, and then I opened them up, you know, the caps and everything, and they were just bone dry. I'm like, what the hell? So apparently, you know, I myself, I'm not surprised, but you know, people in the military, they don't really take care of things very well. So those batteries were dry, absolutely dry. I think I put 3 gallons of distilled water into all of them, just to kind of hoping they'd work, but they don't. So I'm gonna have to try and get rid of them. And for now, they're just kind of like a dummy load for my solar panels and everything, so I can do testing and whatnot until I can afford to get some new batteries. But for now, they work. And then I just have the solar panels, you know, just chilling against the side of my house. I got them all wired in parallel, but I'm thinking once I buy batteries, I'm going to want to do a 24-volt system. But then at the same time, I was like, fuck, I already wired my stator for a 12-volt. So I think I'm going to do 12-volt for now, just because, you know, I'm not too worried about like going off the grid or anything. It's more of a hobby for now. So for now, I'm just going to do 12-volt system. And then so I got these 3 100-watt panels. And I think the other day the sun was actually shining in Washington. Surprise, surprise. And I think I was getting about 12 amps from the 3 of them. And that was with... I'm kind of going into depth. But I got some pretty thin wire coming in. And it got pretty hot once I had the 3 panels up. I think if I go thicker, which I actually got some cables on order for solar panel connectors and everything like that, I'm gonna install those on the garage roof, and that'll be a later video. But one thing I'm pretty happy about is come late August, I'll be going to California for school, Navy school, and my father actually, I'm from California, so he actually found a 120-watt solar panel on the side of the road, and asked if I wanted it, and said yeah. We'll see if it works. Hopefully that'll bump me up to 420 watts. That'd be pretty awesome. But yeah. So yeah, that's about it for this first episode. I don't know what I'm gonna name this channel yet. I'll figure something out. But if anybody's still watching at the end of this video, you're probably wondering, you're in the military, you're in the Navy, I'm in the Navy, why do you have a beard? Why do you have long hair? Yeah, so I'm on leave right now because I just came back from deployment, and because my wife and I just had a baby, so I'm on baby leave, which is pretty awesome. Unfortunately, tonight, it's all gonna have to go. It's all gonna have to go. Yeah, that's gonna suck. 6 years I've been shaving every day. This was quite enjoyable. It doesn't look as thick as it should be in 16 days, but it's definitely there. I vape now. I had to quit smoking. Yeah. So that's about it, guys. Hopefully I can come out with some more videos. I actually really enjoy doing stuff like this, so I look forward to cleaning out my shop, maybe doing a little walk around and going over all the cool things that I'm going to end up doing. I think the best thing about this project is the fact that, well, it wasn't entirely free since it was my old washing machine, but the washing machine took a S word. I don't know, I'm a cuss. I don't care. So the washing machine took a shit. The dryer I actually just sold earlier today. Some dude wanted it just because we got a new set and everything. But the fact that I can take this motor out of a broken washing machine, it still spun and everything like that, but it shook a lot. It didn't during the spin cycle and everything. It wasn't very aligned anymore. It was an old washing machine, but I think it's cool that I can take this motor out, reuse it for something else, you know, kind of modify it and make power from it. I think that sort of thing is awesome. So look forward to more videos like this. Maybe not super often for now. I'm gonna be, it's called sea duty for a little while, which means I'll be deployable and everything like that. But once I go shore duty, I want to try to make a lot more videos, you know, whether it be stuff like this or working on my truck, which I definitely want to do a lot of that too, because my truck's pretty awesome. You'll see eventually once I bring videos up of it. But that'll do it for now, guys. Thanks for watching. Peace.